spot, bringing stats like a kingpin. MMA knowledge, nieces, nephews all lean in. Breaking down fights, calling stat daddy supreme. On just a tip show, he's cooking up a dream. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Wanna know the numbers? Weezy got them cataloged. From the fighters reach down to how many times they dog. Just a tip living, breaking it down slick. Hit you with the knowledge, won't miss a single trick. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Balls deep predictions, he be making those calls. Getting in the details, opponents feeling small. From jazz to takedowns, got the whole fight ID. Uncle Weezy spitting truth, no lie, keep it G. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Stat Daddy Weezy not showing no scorn. Fight Night Kingdom, he wearing the crown. Break it down for the peeps, never looking like a clown.
Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It is your Uncle Weezy live from Florida. Just got back from golfing. About to do a quick full card breakdown for you guys, followed up by the dog pick of the week, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, and then another Greasy 4-leg parlay with some meat on the bone so that we can hopefully cash 2 in a row for you guys here. I'm going to try to make this quick. Got some dinner reservations coming up here. So real quick, last week, let me see. Where are my results from last week? I think we were up a half unit last week. Hit the Greasy 4-legger, hit the dog of the week, hit the ass shaving of the week. So it was a pretty good week. We come out with some profit. We cashed another Greasy 4-leg parlay for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to take you through a quick full card breakdown here. I'm going to share my screen with you and see. I'm not on my normal setup, you guys, so it's going to be a little bit tricky for me. But let me see here. Not that screen. What the hell? Window? There we go. Share that window. All right. So I'm going to get the stats up on the screen for you guys. I know the order has changed quite a bit, and some of these fights are off. So I will just take you through the usual order that I'm going in here. And yeah, we're going to start with Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. So let me get my picks up here on the screen for you guys. And yeah, started with De La Rosa. That fight's off. So I've got a Charles Johnson third round knockout coming up here against Ramazan Temirov. So Temirov's got a ton of power. Uzbekistani striker, throws big overhands. He's small for the division. He's short for the division. He doesn't have a lot of length, but he's got a ton of power. And that's such a rare commodity in the flyweight division that it's something that absolutely has to be respected. But I bet against Temirov last time out with CJ Vergara. So I would be nuts not to bet against him again if I thought that last time that he was lacking a complete MMA skill set. And I still think that. I don't think this guy has any wrestling. I don't think this guy has any minute-winning capabilities. He throws 100% power into each strike. And somebody like Johnson, who's going to be much taller than him, much longer than him, much faster than him. He's got more experience at the UFC level and outside the UFC level. He's also got 5-round experience, better conditioning, better durability, better striking, better wrestling. So I think that this is an easy spot for Charles Johnson. Much less experienced opponent with a way less rounded skill set. So I'm going with Charles Johnson to win by 3rd round knockout. After that, JJ Aldrich by decision. Andrea Lee's on a 5-fight losing streak, you guys. So this is not somebody I'm looking to back right now. She's a very good fighter, though. I think she's got solid striking, solid grappling, solid conditioning, really good experience level. A lot of really tough opponents too. I thought she beat Macy Barber. She's had really close fights against fighters I think that would beat JJ Aldrich. So I can't really get to Aldrich at -200, but there's no finishing upside there. So I think it's all right to play JJ Aldrich by decision here. And since we're running out of fights this week, it might be something we have to put in the parlay, but I like JJ here. I think that she can win minutes with her grappling. And I think the striking exchanges are going to be very close. And then I think if this fight is close and it goes to decision, it just seems like the judges are not fans of Andrea Lee. So I think that JJ Aldrich by decision is probably the play. I think when the fight is over, you'll be saying to yourself, it was always JJ Aldrich by decision. But it is tempting to play Andrea Lee at this spot because she's, I think, a very comparable mixed martial artist to JJ Aldrich. But the career trajectory matters, and we're going to find out what Andrea has left in the tank here. I'm going with JJ Aldrich by decision. We got Almeida versus Silva's off. So did we lose De La Rosa versus Carolina? Shit, guys, you guys are going to have to help me out, man. How many fights are left? I don't even know. I just got back, and I heard that Tapology. Let's see what's left on the card because UFC stats takes forever to update. So Fight Center, UFC, Kape Almabaev. So it looks like De La Rosa versus Carolina is still on. Oh no, they're not updating shit either. All right, I'm going to make a pick for it in case it's still on. I'm going with Montana De La Rosa to win by decision. Where do we got it? Right over here. De La Rosa decision. If it's on, that's what we're going with. If it's not, my apologies for even wasting my time with it. But yeah, that's what I picked for that fight. And I heard that Silva's off and Castaneda's off. But then I heard also that it might have been moved to a catch weight. If it's moved to a catch weight, I like Castaneda to win by decision. And then I'm picking Chepe Mariscal by decision. Chepe's phenomenal in the clinch. I really like what he does there. Black belt in judo. So when he gets close to you, he's going to have excellent balance. He's going to be able to move you. He's going to be able to mess with your balance, mess with your feet. He can get throws. He can get trips. He can get sweeps. He can get reaps. And he does really good work in there. He's mean in the clinch. He throws a lot of volume when he's there. But I think Ricardo Ramos is the more dangerous distance striker. I think Ricardo Ramos is the better submission grappler. And I think Ricardo Ramos has faced a better level of competition up here at the UFC level. Let's not forget, Chepe is 4-0 at the UFC level, and he's definitely a hot fighter right now. But Ricardo Ramos has been here for 13 fights. He's 8-5 in the UFC. So I think that Ramos is going to have some moment-winning ability here. I think he might be able to get to Chepe's back at some point. I think he might be able to land a really explosive strike on the feet. I cannot get to Chepe Mariscal at minus 500, you guys. I just cannot. I've been betting against this guy and getting served every single time, and I actually did it again this week. I don't know what my problem is. I'm picking Mariscal to win this fight by decision, you guys, but at the same time, this money line makes no sense to me. I don't think that Chepe is going to own Ricardo Ramos in a lot of areas of this fight. And I do think that Ramos is the better moment winner wherever this fight goes. So while I'm picking Mariscal by decision, that line at plus 350 for the Ricardo Ramos money line is not to be ignored. And that is what I'm thinking I already do have a bet on his money line this week. But the official pick is Mariscal by decision because I think that he probably is the better minute winner wherever this fight goes. I know a lot of people are betting violence in this fight, but I tend to think it's going to go to decision. And I do think that if there is a finish, Ricardo Ramos at plus like 400 on the finish only prop is also a very good look this week because the guy's an explosive finisher. Next fights, we got Mario Pinto going up against Austin Lane. Pinto's a massive favorite this week. I think he's a really good prospect, still only 27 years old or 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Austin Lane, 37, I believe, knocked out in all 5 of his losses. And we're starting to know Austin a little bit more as a wrestler than we are as a striker, which is interesting because if Austin, with his athleticism and with his explosiveness, the takedown that he got against Jonata Diniz in the first round of that fight was timed perfectly. So Austin Lane by decision this week, you can find around plus 1,000, plus 1,100. And I do think that there's a path for Austin Lane to get takedowns here, potentially wind up on top, get to half guard and work some clock and win some minutes. but Mario Pinto is going to be the better striker. And I just don't feel good about Austin not being at distance striking range long enough in order for Mario to land something that could finish his night, because the kid is fast for a heavyweight. He's very athletic and he moves very well. And that left hook he knocked out that kid with on Dana White's Contender Series was excellent. I think the kid is a really good prospect, but he's a debutant and he's sitting at almost minus 500. So there's no way that I can back Pinto with a bet right now. But I think KO is his most likely path to victory here. And I'm going to pick a Mario Pinto second round KO. It'll be interesting to see him make his debut, though. I think the kid's a pretty good prospect. Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. So I've got Barlow KO1 here. But I do think that Sam Patterson's got a lot of value on his money line at this particular price. Danny Barlow's ground game is a little bit of an unknown. And for me, Sam Patterson's ability to wrestle at a UFC level, for me, is a little bit of an unknown. He got beautiful submission victories against Kiefer Crosby and Johan Leones in his last two fights, both of them in the first round. But we have to, you have to remind yourself who it's against. I mean, Kiefer Crosby couldn't grapple his way out of a brown paper bag. And Johan Leones isn't much better than him. I think Johan Leones got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu belt out of a vending machine. So a guy like Barlow, who is, he's got the hardware, he's got that athleticism, that great frame for the division, that explosiveness. I think it's going to be difficult to take Danny Barlow down. And if Sam's not getting him down, I worry about that chin of Sam Patterson. I mean, even in that picture, he's keeping his chin too high. And that tall man's defense, the way that Barlow hits, I really do think that the most likely outcome for this fight is going to be a first-round knockout for Danny Barlow. I love the under 1.5 rounds here. As long as this fight doesn't spend too long in the clinch, I think while Barlow's at distance striking range, he's going to be very dangerous and very live to finish the fight. And if Sam Patterson gets takedowns and gets to halfway decent positions on the mat, I think that it's very likely that he's going to be able to finish the fight. So the under 1.5 rounds, sitting at around minus 125, is a good look in my opinion this week. And I'm picking Danny Barlow to win by first round knockout. Great fight here between William Gomis and Haider Amil. I'm a big fan of Haider Amil. Love the way that this guy fights. Constant pressure, constant output, good durability. Just a scrapper, a guy that's going to absolutely stay in your face and make you fight. And he's not going to let you rest. He's not going to let you slowly get into the rhythm of the fight. He's not going to just stand in front of you at distance and play point fighting kickboxing matches with you. Haider's going to move forward. Haider's going to throw bombs, and he's going to make you scrap. But the difference in size, the difference in athleticism, the difference in speed, in my opinion, and I think that who Gomis beat last time, beating Joe Anderson Brito, I think Brito's better than Amil. And I was really impressed with William Gomis' footwork, ability to land counters, and ability to not stay right in front of a guy in Brito who was marching him down, trying to take his head off. Gomis so athletic. I think he's going to wind up doing what he needs to do in order to win the minutes of this fight, not let Haider Amil turn this into a brawl. And if he does that, I think William Gomis is going to win a decision here. This kid is good. This kid is very good. People talk about him being boring. There's nothing boring about constantly cashing bets on reliable fighters with great game plans, great hardware, and great MMA skill sets. And I would recommend that when you start to hear somebody say a fighter is boring, look at their defense. Look at how defensively responsible they are. And if they look to be defensively elite fighters have elite defense, you guys. That is one thing that I truly believe to be true, that the most dominant fighters in the history of the UFC are fighters who don't take damage. And William Gomis is one of those guys. So I'm going to back him today. I'm going to pick him to win this fight by decision, even though I'm a massive fan of Haider Amil, even though I love the way that this kid fights. I think that this is going to be a big test for him. And if he can pass the William Gomis test, I think we're going to see Haider Amil kind of get launched into being able to fight with a number next to his name the next time around. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. I want to see how Gomis handles the pressure of Amil here, but I'm picking William Gomis to win by decision. Next fight, Haqparast versus Ribovics. I'm going with Esteban El Gringo Ribovics to win this one by third round knockout. I love Esteban Ribovics. There are so many fighters that I'm a massive fan on this card. Esteban Ribovics, Haider Amil, Sam Patterson, and Danny Barlow. I'm a fan of these guys. Chepe Mariscal, I'm a fan of him. Danny Silva fights really well. I really like him. Not a fan of Charles Johnson's haircut, but everything else about Johnson, I'm a big fan of. So I think that this is a really fun card. And this is a really fun fight between Ribovics and Haqparast, because Haqparast is not going to run away from Esteban. He's going to stand in the pocket with him, and he's very comfortable in these boxing wars in the pocket. But Ribovics brings so much volume, so much durability. He has real power, and he has excellent, excellent conditioning. He uses that conditioning as a weapon. He throws an enormous amount of strikes per minute, and he can take what you're dishing out while staying in that pocket and hit you harder than you hit him. The guys that Ribovics has not been able to finish yet at this level, Rajabov and obviously Camuel Kirk, he didn't finish him either, but he spent the whole first round with Kirk on his back. The most recent guy with a brick for a head that he just beat the shit out of. Oh, yeah, Zellhuber. These are three of the most durable fighters in the UFC, and that's why Ribovics wasn't able to finish those guys. I think that Ribovics is going to finish Haqparast because Haqparast does not have the grappling to make this anything but a 15-minute striking match. And I don't think there are a lot of UFC fighters who are going to be able to stand with Esteban Ribovics for 15 minutes and not get knocked out. The amount of volume that this guy throws is ridiculous. His durability is very dependable, and he has that dog in him. He's going to stay in front of you, and when he has you hurt, his finishing instincts are phenomenal, and I think that he is going to finish this fight. I got Ribovics with the third round KO, and I think that he's going to move up this ladder. I think it's a great matchup for him. I think Nasrat Haqparast by decision at plus 375 is a very live outcome and a money line that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So I don't mind bets on the Haqparast side here because I think he's a very good matchup for Ribovics. But I think that Ribovics is special. And as such, I'm picking him to win this fight by third round knockout. Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. This is going to be a really fun fight. Brundage, I think, is going to be the better minute winner. I think he's going to be the better striker at distance. And I think that he's the better wrestler, more likely guy to win minutes with the wrestling. The problem is that Brundage does not seem to be very comfortable in the cage. And when things start going bad for him, he tends to find a door and look for a way out. And Marquez has never done that in his career. So while I think Cody's the better minute winner, and I think that Cody is the better striker, I worry about as this fight goes on, especially if he hurts Julian a couple times but's unable to get him out of there. I worry about a Julian Marquez comeback late. This guy's got a ton of heart. He's not a great fighter at all, but he's very durable. He's got a ton of heart and a ton of desire. Dude's got that dog in him. So those kind of fighters against Cody Brundage can find ways to win. I hope that Cody doesn't pull guillotine here because I don't want to see, if you're betting on the Cody Brundage side, the last thing that you want to see is this dude on his back because he cannot get up off of his back, and he has a tendency to put himself on his back by going for that guillotine choke. I don't think he needs to go for the guillotine here. I think he can get wrestling going. I think he can get takedowns. I think he can land ground and pound. And I think on the feet, he's going to be the faster, more dangerous striker. So I'm picking Cody Brundage to win this one by decision because I believe in the durability of Julian Marquez. So a lot of people are betting violence in this fight. I'm going the other way. I think fight goes to decision at plus 300 is a solid bet. And I think the over 1.5 rounds at plus 140 is a solid bet. Main event of the evening. I'm picking Manel Kape by decision. I would never lay juice on Manel Kape. I think Manel is maybe one of the 5 most talented fighters in any weight class in the UFC. The guy's God-given gifts of speed, of explosiveness, of athleticism, great size for the division, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, difficult to take down and hold down. Really, really good striking on the feet, ridiculously fast hands. And Almabaev is a really good wrestler. And Almabayev's striking isn't bad. I think a lot of people think that Manel Kape's just going to go out there and dick saw this dude in like 30 seconds with a big uppercut. Almabaev can stay safe at range. He can hang in there. The question is he going to be able to get takedowns? And the other question is, which Manel Kape shows up? Is it the one who's afraid to throw volume whenever he's facing somebody that's a really good grappler? I mean, the Pantoja fight, the Nicolau fight, and the Mokaev fight. It's 3 of the worst performances I've ever seen from Kape. He lacks confidence. I really believe that, because this guy should never, ever, ever be afraid to let his hands go. But he's petrified of doing it. He's not just scared to let his hands go. He's like pants shitting terrified of throwing offense against anybody that can wrestle. So I would just caution anybody who's thinking about laying juice on Manel Kape here. My guy Brady has the break your TV bet of the week. If you're laying juice on Manel Kape, that's going to be the break your TV bet of the week, because I have a very bad feeling that Manel is not going to do anything in this fight. And if he does let his hands go and Asu is able to time some takedowns and get takedowns and get to good positions, you know, I think that could wind up slowing down the output of Kape. So I'm picking Kape because I don't think that there's anybody in the division that's honestly better than this guy when he's fighting well, but he just doesn't fight that well very often, to be brutally honest. I think that the guy has got a lot of flaws. And I think that if he was coached, I don't even know if it's the coaching, because any coach would tell Manel Kape, please just let your fucking hands go. But he just doesn't listen. He doesn't let his hands go. His volume is terrible. And when he's worried about the grappling of his opponent, he just slows down and he doesn't do as much as he normally should. So I'm not going to pick him to get a finish here, because he'd have to throw punches in order to do that. But I'm also thinking that this is going to be a very difficult matchup for Almabayev, because Kape is an excellent grappler in his own right with very good takedown defense. So I'm going to pick Manel Kape to win this fight by decision. Now, let's give you guys the dog pick of the week and Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. So we're going to start off. Oh, God, lost the camera. Yeah, my camera keeps clipping out for some reason. Not sure why, but doesn't really matter. You don't need to see my face. It's all about the picks, you guys. And so now we're going to the Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week here. Got to pick somebody that's a plus money that we think is going to get a win. And there weren't a lot of underdogs that I liked this week. I picked Montana De La Rosa. Don't even know if that fight's on right now. I picked... Who else did I pick that was an underdog? Brundage is an underdog. Yeah, Brundage and De La Rosa were the only underdogs that I picked. But actually, the Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week this week is actually going to be the Ricardo Ramos money line, plus 350. I just don't understand the line. You know, I mean, I think the biggest favorite that Jose Mariscal has been in the UFC is minus 170. They're making him a minus 500 favorite here. The biggest underdog that Ricardo Ramos has ever been in 13 UFC fights is plus 140. Now you're going to make him a plus 375 underdog coming off a win that where he almost finished that win. He was so close to finishing that win in round number 1. He out-grappled Coolabou easily. So while I'm not picking Ramos to win, this line, the mathematics of this line, giving him a 21% chance to win this fight is completely off to me. I'm picking Ricardo Ramos's money line at plus 350. I think it's a great play this week. I think he's got a lot of finish upside. I think he's live to land huge moments on the feet here. And I think that if Ramos's training over at the Fighting Nerds camp is going well, and I think if those guys can help him game plan a little bit better, because he's got great skills, if they could kind of fine tune his mixed martial arts skill set to set up some takedowns, to land big shots on the feet, and keep using that Brazilian jiu-jitsu the way that he does, and also learn how to stay in a guillotine for more than 5 seconds without tapping, I think that Ricardo Ramos is going to be looking a lot better than what that money line is. And I think that Ricardo's very live to win this fight. Now, that brings us to the biggest order of business of the week. It's going to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. We got to find somebody that's going to win and win violently, ladies and gentlemen. And I always like to have certain guys carry that flag, you know? And when you're looking for somebody that's going to be a candidate for the ass shaving of the week, let's find somebody that finishes fights in a violent way. Let's find somebody that's going to fight for your money. Let's find somebody that's never going to look for the easy way out, that's never going to look to quit, that's going to have phenomenal conditioning, phenomenal durability, using that conditioning and having confidence in it in order to throw output and plant your feet and try to knock your opponent's head off. Esteban El Gringo Ribovics carries that flag. He has all of those abilities within him, and he constantly shows the desire to fight when he's in that cage. I can't think of a better guy to carry this banner. I do have a little bit of a problem with where this money line is. Nasrat Haqparast is an excellent striker, and I think that this fight's probably going to be close until somebody lands that big shot. And I think that that guy landing that big shot is going to be Esteban Ribovics. I'm picking him to shave the ass of Nasrat Haqparast here and get a late finish in the third round via vicious KO. Very similar to what he did in the Zellhuber fight, where if that's Haqparast taking those shots, he's out of there. Zellhuber's got a cannonball for a head. So I really do believe that Ribovics is going to get this job done and shave the ass of Esteban Ribovics. Now that leaves us with one order of business left to go, you guys. The Greasy 4-leg parlay. Leg number 1, Skullet Gang. Stand the fuck up. Charles Johnson money line at minus 120 is going to be leg number 1 of this parlay. I'm picking him to win. I have a 1.5 unit bet on his money line at plus 118. But even here at minus 120, this is Ramazan Temirov is either going to land a knockout in the first round or he's going to get styled on. And there are so many ways that Charles can style on this dude. He can out wrestle him. He can out distance management him and just wind up switching stances, confusing him, staying just out of range and out pointing him. He can get a submission. He can knock out this guy just like he knocked out Josh Van, who I think is a much better fighter right now than Ramazan Temirov is. So Charles Johnson money line at minus 120 is going to be the first leg of this parlay. Let me get the DraftKings screen up here. It's minus 125 now, so I think it might have moved a little bit, but that's all right. That'll be leg number 1 of the parlay. Leg number 2 is going to be JJ Aldrich to win by decision. And we're going to lay a little bit of juice here, but frankly, there's not a lot of bettable fights on this card, in my opinion. We lost 2 or 3 of them today, so I'm not exactly sure what is left that I love, but this is something that I'm picking this as the outcome. I think JJ's got wrestling upside here, and her being a southpaw with really good efficient striking, I think it's going to be enough to win. I think even if she kind of loses this fight, she might get the nod on the scorecards because, you know, it seems like these judges just don't like Andrea Lee for some reason. And I don't know why they wouldn't. She seems like a lovely young lady. So I don't know what's up with that. But we do know that Andrea's on a 5-fight losing streak. She's getting towards the end of her career. And JJ Aldrich is a tough customer that does a great job of winning minutes and fights she kind of stays to a good game plan here. And I just see her winding up getting this win. So that's going to be the second leg of the parlay. We're going to go to winning method here. Scroll down to JJ Aldrich by decision at minus 150. That brings this two-leg parlay up to plus 200. Leg number 3 of this parlay is going to be the under 1.5 rounds for Sam Patterson versus Danny Barlow at minus 130. I think that this is one of those striker versus grappler matchups where if it doesn't wind up for long periods of time in the clinch, that Barlow is going to be very live to land a knockout on the feet, and that Patterson's going to be very live to get takedowns, advance to dominant positions, and find submissions. So I think that this is going to be a violent fight one way or another. I really do think that Barlow is going to get the KO, but I can't bet Barlow because I think he's too juiced on the money line. I think that Sam Patterson is being underrated in his striking a little bit. And I think that he might be being overrated just a little bit with his grappling because you got to do it against somebody better than Johan Leones or Kiefer Crosby for me to actually think that you're going to be doing this to everybody. So going with that under 1.5 rounds, I think it's a really solid violence bet for this week. So let me find the fight lines here. Scroll down to the Patterson fight. There we go. Under 1.5 rounds now sitting at minus 125. That brings this 3-leg parlay up to plus 440. And what better way, you guys, to finish it off but with Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Esteban El Gringo Ribovics to shave the ass of Nasrat Haqparast. The money line is wide, you guys. It's minus 260. But I like to make that fourth leg be something that we can hedge out on so that we can, if the first 3 legs cash and we got 6.5 to 1 coming to us, we can just put a little bit of money on the Haqparast money line in order to hedge out and lock in a profit. But we're going with that fourth leg being Ribovics here. I'm a big fan of the way this guy fights. And I really think he's going to be too much with the volume, the conditioning, the output, and the power. I can't wait for this fight. I think Ribovics versus this guy is going to be Haqparast is going to be one of the best fights of the week. And I think Amil versus Gomis is going to be an absolute barn burner, as well as Ramos versus Mariscal. So it's not really the best card of the year in terms of name value, but I think the matchmakers did a really good job here. And I think we're going to get a lot of all action fights, at least the ones that are left. And this thing is coming out to plus 649 on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Really great number. So let's try to hit this one. Let's try to make it two in a row because we looked great last week, man. We had that Modestus Bukowskis money line. We had the Hernandez money line. We had the Kudalaba money line, and we had the Menefield money line. So we cashed the shit out of that thing. And let's make it 2 in a row, man. Plus 649 on DraftKings Sportsbook. It says Bet Online there. We can't parlay this on Bet Online. So let me just change that to DraftKings. Kings. Bam. We did it, you guys. Full card breakdown. Dog pick of the week is going to be Ricardo Ramos money line plus 350. Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, Esteban Ribovics. I got him winning inside the distance at plus 235 for 1 unit. And then we got 649 on this Greasy 4-legger. So yeah, we got a really good set of bets up for you guys here. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Who the hell is in here with me today? We got Dick's Insider in the room saying, Prophet Weeziah, the fights are dropping like flies. Please save us from this lunacy with some good old-fashioned degeneracy. Well, we're degenerate gamblers. That's what we do, Dixon, and we're going to try to make some more money on this card this week. My guy Robert in the room saying, Weezy, why do smart people do dumb things? I changed the Greasy 4-leg parlay with fight doesn't go to decision instead of the money line for Alonzo. Why, Weezy? Why, Weezy? But in all honesty, how does that fight not get stopped? Dude, I had the under 1.5 rounds there, man. I lost 2 units on that fight because I thought it was going to finish early. So, yeah, man, I understand why you did it, and it just did not work out. But I like going with these money lines if I can. But I think these money lines this week are extremely wide. And as somebody that's a very price conscious bettor, it's hard to pay up on some of these money lines. We got Remora in the room saying, "Oi, what's up, Remora?" We got LaFlop saying Uncle Weezy's the GOAT. Greasy 4-leg hit last week. Thanks for helping me make profit. Oh, what's up, LaFlop? We got rolling around town, blaring the Uncle Weezy intro on my way home. Let's get it, man. Sam saying, let's go. My guy Mushroom is in here, sneak watching at work, saying, thanks for another Greasy four-legger last week. You got it, dude. Dixon saying, Weezy, hear me out. Patterson TKO 1200 when he snaps the already broken arm of Barlow. Ref sees that break like Jamal Hill versus Paul Craig with no tap, even though it was a sub. They ruled TKO. Could be, man. And if Sam's got good ground and pound, that's something that we can maybe see him do. Let me kind of like just that. There we go. All right. So now you can at least see my face over that. We got exclusive Oro saying, thanks for the guidance weekend. Have a most confident underdog. Let's go, man. And we got Dixon saying, and everyone loses their shirt on the chalk Patterson sub and Barlow KO. I know people are going to go for those. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. And yeah, I bet you anything that Vegas is just rooting for this one to go over. We got Crispy Bacon in the room saying, oi, what's up, dude? We got Thal in the room saying, interesting take. I did not know about the broken arm. Yeah, Barlow KO Patterson sub is the popular prop choice. Aiden Lewis saying, putting on for my long neck brother, Sam Patterson this week. Let's go, man. PPC in the room saying, I rate Uncle Weezy above several of my real uncles in terms of profitability. Let's go. Good to see you hanging out in here, Bernier. We got Dixon saying, yep, tons of people were pissed that Craig got the TKO instead of the sub. I know, man. I think I was one of them. History doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes, baby. That's right, man. We got Paku in the room. What's up, Paku? We got Michael in the room saying it's time. The Oracle is going to speak. He said a straight man. Let's stack them. Let's get it. We got Alec Brewer is in the room saying the weekend is here. Good to see you hanging out, Alec. We got Genova 7, producer extraordinaire in the room saying always grateful for Uncle Weezy's easy breezy greasy freebie. Thanks, G. Let's get it, Genova. I hope you cashed on the one last week. We got Aiden Lewis saying new location unlocked. Yes, sir. Florida. Sun. I'm a little bit burned. I think I'm a little bit burned. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm Greek, it'll be bronze by the end of the week. We got Enlighten My Opinion saying, oi, from Illinois, Weezy, left us in the wind and the rain. I'll be back on Sunday, my man. Don't worry about it. We got Dixon saying, wow, I like that salmon pink shirt, Weezy. Looks like you're live from the country club. Just got back from the country club, my man. Yeah, and they were saying pink, and I was like, no, man, it's salmon. It's a big difference, man. And I look good in this color. Let's not bullshit each other. We got House of Pain in the room saying four-legger it is, 2 of 6 since the top of the year. So let's make it 3 of 7. Let's do that, man. Let's absolutely do that. Cider, let's not encourage the salmon, otherwise known as pink. We got Sean Robidow saying, okay, so Montana is canceled. So I'm glad we didn't make that the dog pick of the week. We lost Castaneda. So wait, is the Silva fight on then? I thought we lost the Silva fight too. De La Rosa's canceled. De La Rosa and Castaneda Andrade. So is the Silva fight still on then? Silva's still on, right? Says Alec Brewer. De La Rosa's not happening. Silva's now a catchweight. Okay. All right. Well, either way, guys, just so you know, in the pick for the Silva fight is Silva by decision if that fight is still happening. I don't have any bets on it, though, and I don't think I'm going to be playing that fight at all, especially now if it's a catch weight and somebody missed weight. So, all right, De La Rosa's, yeah, okay. We got Silva versus Almeida is still on. All right, that's good to know. Almeida missed by 2 pounds, and he didn't look very good. Yeah, that, Sean, I agree with you there. I think Gomis can knock this guy out. I think the fight doesn't go to decision. Sitting at around plus 170 is a pretty good look. But yeah, Gomi's got power. He does have power, dude. I just think that the reason that he's not knocking anybody out yet is that people aren't really trying to get in the pocket with him that much. We got Nor in the room saying it's Gomi with an S, even though in French we pronounce the S for nouns. No kidding. It's Gomis? Well, with a name like Noor, I mean, I know you're French, so I'll ask my girlfriend too. She's French, so she would say it's Gomis. I did not know that. All right. We got Nick B in the room. $5 donation. Ring a ding ding, you guys. Thank you for the donation. Thanks for your expert analysis. Love what you do. Thank you so much, Nick, for the generous donation to the show. Appreciate you, my man. We got Grayer Davis in the room saying, oi. We got Moyes saying, Basharat Haqparast. Just saying, oh, yeah. Yeah, man. They're both from Afghanistan. Yeah. We got Andrew in the room. What's up, Andrew? We got Joe Free saying, Weezy, bro, you're the truth. Your analysis is second to none. You know, you are great at what you do. Thank you, Weezy. By the way, you killed the Greasy 4-leg parlay this past week. Great work. Thanks, Joe. You're always so kind with your words in here, man. You're always saying really nice things, and I truly appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out on the stream today. We got Andrew Nance saying, GOAT, let's go, man. We got Ramora saying, not a great week for a dream blunt rotation. We got Andrew saying, smoke and sleep weekend. We got worst card ever. This is not the worst card ever, dude. You don't remember the Jessica I versus Cynthia Calvillo main event during the middle of COVID. And I think the co-main event of that card was Yorgan de Castro against Carlos Felipe. So this is not the worst card of all time. It's not the best. Nobody's saying that. But, man, I mean, we've seen worse, Andrew. We got Ramora saying, Brundage said in his press interview that he quits because he gets scared. Makes me worried. Well, at least he's being real. I mean, let's face it. I mean, if any one of us was getting in that cage and fighting the dudes that Cody Brundage has fought in his life, of course you're scared. You're crazy if you're not scared. But sometimes you can see it. You don't need them to tell you that they're scared or that they're not comfortable in there. Terrence McKinney's another one, man. That guy's not comfortable in the cage. He either gets you out of there or he gets knocked out. And Brundage is one of those guys. But Brundage is a tough dude. He's got good striking and good wrestling. I think that Julian Marquez is not the kind of finisher that's going to be putting Brundage in bad spots. So I do think that Cody's going to win here. And Cody's a great dude as well. I've gotten the pleasure to interview him twice. A really nice guy, family man, great dad. You know, I wish Cody the best. And I'm thinking he's going to win this fight. And I'm definitely rooting for him this week, man. We got Raj in the room saying, how is Marquez fighting in a co-main? Tells me about the card. I need to know. Dude, I get it, right? These guys should not be the co-main event, but I'm telling you, it's going to be an interesting fight between Brundage Marquez. And I think they're going to put on for the fans, put on a pretty good show. The High Owl in the room. What is up? Saying Cop Sub is live. Good price. I've bet Cop Sub a couple of times before. Got plus 1,600 in one of his fights, but he's never cashed it for me. But Asu's going to be wrestling, and he's going to be put in spots where he's going to be able to use that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, so I could see him potentially getting that sub. We got OJ in the room saying, oi, what is up, OJ? And he's saying, for real, everyone and their mother's dog on Chepe. Oh, yeah, dude, I know. I'm picking Chepe, but you guys, the line is crazy. The biggest underdog Ramos has ever been in 13 UFC fights is plus 140. The biggest favorite Mariscal has ever been in 4 UFC fights, minus 170 against a completely washed Damon Jackson. Ricardo Ramos is 8-5 in the UFC, and he's only 28 years old, you guys. Training at Fighting Nerds now, rounding out his skill set. This guy's on the right side of 30. He's a phenomenal finisher wherever the fight goes. So I think that this line is absolutely crazy. Let everybody else and their mother be on Chepe. I do my own damn research, and I know good dog picks when I see them. Robert saying that is my most Florida-looking apartment I've ever seen. Have fun. My mom lives in Tampa. We are not far from Tampa, and we are in the heart of Florida here. Beautiful weather. Palm trees right outside the window here. And we just got back from the golf course. Absolutely beautiful day. I love it down here. We got Corey Mann saying, any interest in the Ramos plus 3.5 since you think it goes to decision? Yeah, I don't know what the line is on the Ramos 3.5, but I think that that's not a bad play because I do think that it is going to go to decision. I think that Mariscal's finishing upside is a little bit overrated in this spot. So I don't mind that play at all. And plus, that plus 3.5 is going to cash if Ramos gets a submission as well. And I think that or a knockout, and I think those are both live outcomes as well. We got Deshaun in the room saying, I'm trusting Sam Patterson to win as a dog over Brundage. And then you like Sam is a better dog than Brundage, and you actually like Marquez by sub. I think that's not a bad look either, because Marquez does get in a good spot. Arm triangle choke is pretty good. He's got a pretty good guillotine as well. So we got High Owl saying, after tailing your Kudalaba pick, you can say the ref wins the fight, and I believe you. Oh, I'm glad you tailed that pick, man. That was another dog pick that the line made absolutely no sense. And in MMA, with the kind of variance that we get in MMA, with the kind of variance you get between performances from fighter to fighter as well, when that line is off, according to your analysis, you should feel pretty safe betting it, because if you're going to be doing this every week like I do, you're going to come out ahead in the wash when you're making those plus EV plays consistently. We got Muhammad in the room saying Big Weez. What's up, Muhammad? We got OJ saying Turkish power turned into Turkish tapper. I couldn't believe that Iwan Kutalaba got a sub. I didn't think he knew how to spell sub. And he went out there and got an arm triangle like he was Rodolfo Vieira. I could not believe that, man. I had Kutalaba to win by KO too. I didn't just have the money line. I piled on top with the money line a half unit on his KO prop at like plus 380. I thought it was going to be ground and pound. He got an arm triangle. We got the bookie man, Chicago's very own, in the room. Good to see you hanging out in here saying ass shaving cashes this week for sure. I'm a big fan of Ribovics. I can't wait for that fight. Can't wait to see him in there again. We got Muhammad saying, enjoy the golf with the Pops Weez. By the way, I still have not been able to link to the Discord. Okay. All right. You got to switch over to the Odds Shopper. Message me, please, for the love of Jah. Message me on Twitter, and I will send you the link. So I'll just send you the link so that you can join that Discord. Get a hold of me somehow. If you leave a comment on this video, if you're not on Twitter, give me an email that I can reach out to you with, so I can easily give you that Discord link so that you're in there, my man. Local man shakes fist saying, JJ decision minus 150 is so bad. Oh, I think it hits. But I don't like the line either. But you know what's worse than JJ decision at minus 150? JJ money line at minus 200 for somebody with zero finish upside. Late as shite, but we here. There we go, Olajuwon. Good to see you hanging out in here. We got local man saying Patterson submission at only plus 245 is the freest. Oh, submission only at minus 245. I think that's a really good play. I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it'd be really surprising to see Danny Barlow get a submission. I mean, it's MMA. I said that last week about Iwan Kutalaba, but I do tend to agree. I think that that's not a bad look at all. Haqparast is I think he's live too, man. I think he's live too. I think that decision prop, because nobody's finishing Esteban Ribovics. If you're going to bet Haqparast, that decision prop is plus 375. I think it's a lovely line. And I think that he's a very good striker. So I agree that Haqparast is live, but I think that Esteban Ribovics is special. Remora, oh, there we go. Plus 666 on Bet Rivers. Let me see the horns, ladies and gentlemen. Number of the beast. Let's cash this thing. Olajuwon saying, let's cash it. We got Grateful Dude in the room. Good to see you hanging out in here saying, appreciate the Greasy 4-leg parlay. Thank you. We got Olajuwon saying plus 650 on Bet 365, $20 to win 150. Let's get it, Olajuwon. And my guy Dan Levy in the room. Smash the like button, gentlemen. Go check out Half the Battle if you haven't already this week. My man DFS by the numbers joined up with Dan there to break down the card. Great show this week, gentlemen. And let's stack them high. Olajuwon saying 2 in a row. Let's get it, man. We got Sawbuck saying, I love every leg, Weezy. 2 in a row incoming. Let's get it. We got Muhammad saying, enjoy Bet 365 while it lasts. Don't hit the strike odds hard to extend that time. Yeah, dude, a lot of people are getting limited, I'm seeing lately, and it's difficult because I don't like seeing market makers say that they don't want professional order flow. As somebody who worked on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange and filled orders and made markets, just the way I made markets in stocks, like bookies make markets in bets. And the worst thing that you can do if you're a market maker is say that you don't want people bidding or offering in your market. It's very, very shady. So whenever you see books that are limiting people, those are very shady books, and you do not want to be doing business with them. You'd be begging for smart order flow when you were a good trader, because you knew when that smart order flow came in that you could tail it, or you could anticipate it. But it's a tool just like anything else. And these guys are just not doing it properly. So if you got books that are limiting you, man, that's a bad thing, man. We need more books that are willing to take good order flow, because it's much easier to make good markets and efficient markets when you're getting sharp guys in there, making their opinions known to you, the market maker. So that bugs me, Muhammad. I'm sorry to hear that you're worried about that 365 account being there. Bunk Hoots in the room saying, "Oi, what's up, dude?" We got Brad saying, "Letting my emotions in this one and picking against you on a couple. Patterson sub Amil. I don't mind either of those picks, Brad. And man, I keep going back and forth on that first fight, but I might look at a Johnson finish. Yeah, I don't mind a Johnson finish either, dude. If you could knock out Josh Van, you can finish a lot of guys in this division. I only do $25 units, so I should be okay, hopefully. Let's hope. Yeah. Brundage KO is Ramos asking. I think it could happen. We saw him knock out Tarijian Gore. We saw him drop Rodolfo Vieira. Cody swings when he's on the feet, man. He will throw that right hand. He's got some power in it. And he's not looking to point fight. He's looking to hit really hard. So I think Brundage KO could be live. I'm throwing 100 on this Greasy four-legger. Let's go. My guy Rob last week threw 250 on it and round robined all four of the picks. And he threw Silva inside the distance, Gene Silva inside the distance in there. So he had a 5-leg round robin off of the Greasy four-legger last week and had 250 on it. So, man, I love seeing when people got some money on it and it cashes. It's always good. And yeah, you're going to be fine, says Muhammad to Olajuwon. Paul saying, is that a Star of David candle behind me? No, it is definitely not. That is like, no, we're Greek here, my man. It's not a Star of David. That is like a, I see what you're saying there, but definitely not. We just unplugged it. Oh, well, doesn't matter. It is not, Paul. Don't worry about it. We got Yes Freak in the room. Scottsdale, Arizona treadmill team has arrived. Let's go, man. We got Carter saying sometimes you can't fade the public. Chepe's got an easy dub here. We got Olajuwon saying, I hope to one day be betting big enough to be limited. Yeah, that would be cool too, man. Genova saying the like button is free, just like this Greasy parlay. Appreciate you, Genova. Yeah, hit that like button, you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the parlay. We got Muhammad Bruce Lee saying if they mean the Douglas Silva fight was moved to catch weight, then fully canceled. Okay. Don Boone saying picked out peach for the bride's kitchen. I should have known with the name Sockeye. We got Olajuwon with the ring-a-ding-ding. We got Yes Freak saying I am not French, but I am here. And we got Ucelis saying, sup, new setup? No, I'm in Florida over at my dad's place. So just on vacation this week. Muhammad is saying it becomes a massive pain, yeah, when you do get hit. Don Boone is saying, still looking relaxed, Weezy. Way to play. Oh, dude, yeah. The body held up great out there for the full 18 holes. I didn't play well today. I could not get a putt to drop to save my life. But I was pretty good off the tee. The irons were pretty good. The short game, a complete disaster. Fell apart like a Chinese motorcycle every time I was 5 feet in from the cup. It just, oh, God, I can't putt to save my life. Somebody help me. We got my guy Tajik Bey in the room. Good to see you, the GOAT, man. Saying, hope all is well, Weezy. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Tajik Bey. I haven't seen you in a minute, my man. We got Ucella saying, Weezy, thoughts on the over 1.5 in the Danny Barlow fight? I don't like it. But because it seems like the whole world is on the under, that's usually when these guys come out and wind up, sitting in the clinch for 12 minutes, like Menafield and Walker did last week. So, yeah, man. I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet it. The line is not good enough for me to bet an over in that fight, but I could see it coming in, but no, not at the current price, man. Yo, Weezy, you're my GOAT, no doubt, says my guy Tyler Dyson. Appreciate you, my man. We got Olajuwon saying, Muhammad, I can definitely see that if it happens. I'll likely go back to Betway. We got Noor saying, as a French, we all call him Gomis, since Gomis is not a French noun. So no French language applied here. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. All right. Because it sounds like well, actually, it sounds like a Greek name, Gomis. That sounds like a Greek name. So that's really kind of interesting. And we got Bruce Lee saying also fully limited at that. Well, you know what? When you bet like Muhammad does, and you're sniping all these lines early and beating a bunch of line movement, they don't like you very much. We got Arya saying, thanks for the breakdown, Uncle. Appreciate you. We got Noor saying, thank you for your views. Absolutely. Live Dog saying, Live Dogs MMA saying, Hyder Amil is going to hurt Gomi. Stop smoking that Sherm. Dude, I'm not smoking no Sherm, man, but I'm rooting for Hyder. I'm a huge Hyder Amil fan. I love the way this guy fights, but I think William Gomi is damn good, you guys. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I think it's going to be a barn burner. And my favorite bet for that fight is actually the fight doesn't go to decision at around plus 170. I could see Gomi getting a finish. I could see Amil getting a finish. So I think that's really good. We got Abo Bainbo in the room saying, come on, Unc, let's go. Let's get it, my man. We got Tyler saying low-key sneaky card. I'm a lot of prospects. Yep. I appreciate you too, Weezy, more than you know. Your work is very legit. Thank you, Joe, always with the kind words. Appreciate you, man. Olajuwon saying, damn, Ed Muhammad, you've been cleaning out the books. Yeah, dude, he always beats a ton of line movement. Muhammad's one of the first people in the pool, and then he's like 500 pounds. So he jumps in the pool, does a cannonball. All the water leaves the pool, and then he's the only one in it holding that minus 200 ticket when everybody else has to bet that dude at minus 400. So I kind of get why Muhammad's out there getting limited, but still, man, as a bookie, as a market maker, you should be ready to have people move your markets, and you should have plans for how you're going to profit from it when they do. And that's on them. They have to be better at market making. Genova saying, Brundage is good. He just goofs up sometimes. My battery is about to run out here, you guys. Let me see if I can save this broadcast here for the next few minutes. Plug that shit in. There we go. Plug this in. Okay. Let's see if we got the camera on. And we're plugged in. Good. Now we can get through. All right. Live Dogs saying every UFC card should have 15 fights. No, it shouldn't. Fuck you, Live Dogs. Every UFC card should not have 15 fights because that is entirely too many to research in 1 week. We got to keep it 12 or below every single week. Otherwise, there's just too much. And who's got 8 hours to sit around and watch fights every single week? I think we should keep it to 12 max every week. We got Muhammad saying, Olajuwon, about 18 months ago, I had no money, medical stuff related. I built this bankroll in the time since 300 units now. That's a huge amount. That's phenomenal. Deshaun in the room saying, one underdog I don't mind taking is Austin Lane in 2025. Pinto looks like a light heavyweight. What do you know about his takedown defense? I know that it's not great, but everybody that I talked to that watched the 5-round fight and stuff, they said that the get-up game was really good. And he looks athletic. I see why you say that he could be a 205er because he moves very well. He's got excellent footwork, and he looks to be fast. So with those kind of skills, a lot of times, when you're getting taken down, as soon as your ass hits the ground, if you can bounce back up and if you have that urgency, having that athletic ability at heavyweight will allow you to be able to get back up when you are taken down. But we're going to find out. See, that's why I don't have any bets on this fight is Pinto does look like a great prospect, but he's a UFC debutant. And if there's something that we've learned over the years, it's that it's really hard to perform well in your first UFC fight. You're often taking a massive step up in competition. There's a lot of nerves there. You're underneath the bright lights for the first time in your career. And there's a potential adrenaline dump involved with that as well. So we're going to find out about the takedown defense because I think Austin's going to be shooting on him early and often. Been waiting all week for these picks, says Jesse. Well, we finally got them out of the way. I was out of town, so I wasn't able to do my show as early as I normally would this week. It's been a pretty incredible run. No losing weeks in September. That is about as good as it gets. Ramos saying Temirov Johnson fight under 2.5 plus 160. What do you think? Let me look at my betting model. Plus 160, the under 2.5. So only 2 of 10 Charles Johnson fights have finished under 2.5 rounds. 1 of 1 for Ramazan Temirov. So 3 of 11. That's only 27%. And we're paying 39% there. But the long-term trend for the flyweight division is 40.57%. And Temirov, I think, is a guy who's going to bring a lot more finishes than the average flyweight. You're getting plus money. I personally wouldn't play it. If I was going to play violence, I would definitely play the fight doesn't go to decision rather than the under 2.5. And here's why. Johnson's got phenomenal durability. He's never been finished as a professional, and he's been in 5-round fights, and he's fought much better level of competition than Temirov. So I think if there's a finish in this fight, it's going to come as a result of the volume, the conditioning, and the output of Charles Johnson. I think it probably comes late. So I would want those extra 2.5 minutes and take the cut from 155 down to 140 in order to get those 2.5 minutes and give yourself a little extra time to cash that bet. I would much rather play that fight doesn't go at plus 140. That dude in the room saying, remember, a UFC card of any kind is better than none. Come on, guys. Let's go. Appreciate you, dude. We got Olajuwon saying, got in at Ramos plus 280. Is that where he's at now? Because I got him at plus 380 earlier in the week. Let's see. Ricardo Ramos. Okay. I see plus 295. But I see some other books like Forecasters has him at 360 and 340 on Bet 105, Bet 350 on Bovada. So, I mean, like there's some, these are still big numbers though, you guys, very big numbers, plus money numbers for the Ramos side. Plus 380. There you go. That's what I got too, Olajuwon. There you go. Let's see. Damn, man. Hope you've been healthier since. I'm sure he is. I'm sure the money's helping too. That's good. Thank you, brother. Anytime. All right. Olajuwon saying, I wish to do something like that with my bankroll, though. Well, we're going to help each other out doing that, my man. We got Joe saying, Florida sounds great over there, Weezy. I'm up north in New Jersey. Have fun while you're down there, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to get away from the Chicago weather and come down here to the Florida sun and see some palm trees and play some golf. It's been a fun time. Live Dog saying, Kudalaba was my dog of the card. Easy money. I had him at knockout also in round 1. Yeah, I think I picked a second round knockout for him, but yeah, I could not believe he got that sub. What price do I like Ribovics by KO? I would say probably about 4. I bet the inside the distance at plus 235. Let me see where my betting model has it. Scroll that way. All right. Haqparast. Whoops. So my model had the KO at plus 275, huh? So yeah, if I'm getting 275 for the KO and I'm getting 235 for the inside the distance, play the inside the distance. You never know, man. I think KO is definitely a lot more likely. I don't see either one of these guys shooting takedowns, but always remember Haqparast might be shooting takedowns if he gets clipped. Anything can happen. Ribovics has got a pretty good Kimura. So I would probably just play the inside the distance. Might have to dig out my inactive Twitter then. Yeah, well, if you do that, but if not, give me an email where I could reach you in the comments. Whatever you got to do, dude, just message me and I'll give you the link to the Discord. And also, if you're on the Dub Club, you're going to have to switch over to the Odd Shopper eventually. So I will give you the link to that as well. and I'll give you 20% off your first month. Joe Free says, isn't Ribovics KO around plus 250? I think it is right around there. Yeah. Oh, you get 320. Yeah, 320. I don't mind that at all, dude. I think that's a lot better than 235, and I think it's worth taking the chance to get that bump. Yeah, that's I would agree. Who's pulling a stunt tomorrow night? Might be Mariscal. It might be Jose Mariscal. We will see, dude. That line makes no sense to me at the price. They include DQ with it too. Yes, they do. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Either put limits on those specific lines, stop doing the strike odds, or get gone. You know, don't ban sharps when they bet your lines. And that's the thing. You have to identify your customers. And when you identify them as a sharp, that's a good thing when you start getting their orders. It tells you to move the market. It tells you that that sharp over there is picking off your market because it's too cheap. Make it more expensive. Bring people in on the other side. That's what you're supposed to do as a market maker. What's the parlay? The parlay is Charles Johnson money line, JJ Aldrich by decision, under 1.5 rounds, Patterson versus Barlow, and Esteban Ribovics money line minus 258 comes out to 649 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's see here. Loose Change saying this week is sketchy. I'm laying off the parlays, but good luck on. Good luck to you, my man. Joe saying I agree, Weezy. It's about the book's limits. Unfortunately, it's very real that they do start to limit your wagers. Then if you're too good, they ban you altogether. It's not right. Well, you know what the thing is eventually there's going to be books that come in and just take these guys' business. If they want to be a bunch of punks that don't take big bets and don't want to make, if they don't want to make real markets, there's going to be people who will make real markets. I promise you, there's opportunity there. Just got here. Appreciate you as always, says Ospo. Good to see you hanging out in here, my man. Show enough in the room saying, what do you think of Kape anytime KO? I think it's the break your TV bet of the week. I think if you're betting on Kape KO, you might wind up with your head in the oven at the end of the night with a sign taped to your back that says no funeral. This guy is just so terrified to let his hands go that, I think Kape can absolutely I think Kape can knock out anybody in the flyweight division and the bantamweight division. But he's got to throw his hands first. And he just doesn't do that. Long time no see, Tajik. So long. I'm on a different YouTube. Lion in here saying, I think we can finally rely on Kape to be reliable from now on. At what point do you think it's an easy win for Kape? I think Kape can get easy wins whenever he wants them. He's just got to have confidence. He's just got to let his hands go. I mean, his hands are too fast and phenomenal, but I don't think that I don't think it's going to be an easy win until he does that. So he's got to get the confidence to throw. And so I don't know, man. I don't think I'm not going to rely on Kape. I'm not going to lay juice on this guy. Dude, he had people holding him back. Go watch the Mabaev Kape fight. These guys got into 2 fights the week of the fight. They were saying that they were going to kill each other. While they're announcing both fighters, there were literally 3 security guards around Kape, and one of those security guards literally has his hand on him. I'm surprised that Kape didn't break this dude's wrist. They were holding him back because they thought he was going to go across the cage and kill Muhammad Mabaev because he was so mad at him. They ring the bell. They're in a cage. They're going to fight each other. They hate each other. And what happens? Manel Kape does jack shit for 15 minutes and loses the fight. A guy that he wanted to kill. A guy who's not even close to his level of striking. If you're confident that Kape is reliable, fair enough. You know, it's going to take me a long time to get to the place where I'm calling that guy reliable. He's the most talented fighter in the entire division. Reliable? I don't know. We got Fob in the room saying Douglas DOTW, let's go. We got Fight Talk saying, what's up, T.O. Weezy? Good to see you hanging out in here, brother. It's been a minute. We got Muhammad saying that's the truth. We got Awo Bainbow saying, commented on one of your videos a few months back, been making some money following the tips you gave. Cheers. Good to see you hanging out in here, brother. I'm glad you're making some money here. Best house track. What's your best top 3 house tracks? Oh, God, I'm going to have to think for a second on that one. A lot of stuff by Miguel Miggs I really liked from back in the day. Naked Music, NYC. Some Miguel Miggs, one of my favorite producers of all time. Mark Farina, one of my favorite producers and DJs of all time. 3 great house tracks. Let No Man Put Asunder by First Choice. Oh, geez. Even like something like, it's not one of my favorites, but just like Sing It Back from Moloko just reminds me of good times and dancing. But that's what I'm going to have to leave it at right now, man. Live Dog saying, I have absolutely no life. All I do is watch the UFC. I had to vote every Saturday, and I have for many years. I don't go anywhere, so I would definitely like to have at least 12 fights and 14 just in case. Yeah, well, when you start breaking down the fights, and have to write up 6 to 7 pages on each one, when you've got 14 fights, it's horrible. So that's just me being selfish as a content creator and wanting to devote the appropriate amount of each time that I need to devote to be confident in my picks. And if they started putting 14 fights on every card, man, I'd never sleep. We got my guy Gerald in here saying, what's up, Unc? What's up, dude? Good to see you hanging out in here. We got Fob saying, do you have a black belt in anything other than ass slapping? Have you trained anything? Serious question. That is a serious question. Black belt and ass slapping is something I've always had. Orange belt in judo, wrestled in high school. We got a Sue Cody locked in. There we go. All right, two big dogs there. I hope you hit on that. We got a Stubborn Mick saying 4K Weezy, a mythical creature. What's up, dude? Good to see you hanging out in here. Abdi saying I did a minor adjustment and did Ribovics money line and over 299.5 seconds to make it plus 777. Much better number, and I like that number. Amil round 3 submission is my play, says the bookie man. He's got great pace. That's going to be a really fun fight. We got Live Dog saying I have no kids, no wife. I don't get laid. I don't do anything. It's no wonder I'm pretty good at picking winners. Well, hey, man, when you're dedicated to something and you put all your time into it, that's when you're going to get good at it, my man. We got Let's Roll saying, what's up, Uncle? Let's keep rolling. You are the man. Appreciate you. Let's get in 2 in a row here on the Greasy 4-legger. We got Nat Nail Kenaw saying, you've got great hair, man. I appreciate you. I wish it wasn't as gray as it is, but at least I still got the full head of hair, and that's something I got to be thankful for. Live Dogs, who are your picks? We got F Gun Lion saying, you think Ramos will beat Mariscal? I missed the breakdown. Have to watch it right after. I'm actually picking Mariscal to win, but plus 380 was what I got on the money line, and that implies a 20% implied probability, maybe 21%. And I think he's more like 45% to win this fight. So I took a shot. But I do think that, for my official pick, it's Mariscal by decision. But I think that Ramos is going to be live. D Spearman in the room saying, Uncle Weezy, crazy card. Your Greasy 4-leg is half the card. I know, dude. I know, man. But let's hope it hits, dude. Let's hope it hits. Good to see you hanging out, D. I'm going to need that hair care routine. Lather, rinse, repeat, baby. Always use conditioner. That's what we do. We got Loose Change. I'm going to need that hair care. It's immaculate. Appreciate you. Hunter saying Temirov, good underdog. I don't think so, man. I think that Charles Johnson's going to beat him. Dole Essen says, very good. We got these Russians train super hard. Jose parties and does not take the sport seriously. Who's Jose Mariscal? Jose parties and does not take the sports here. I don't know. You will lose if you choose Johnson. I chose him. He's not Russian. He's from Uzbekistan. That is correct. But I agree. Same shit. No, it is not. It is far from the same shit. I parlayed Ribovics and Silva with my dog option as De La Rosa, and my other parlay I gave was Mariscal Barlow with a meal option. But with Rosa, I'll change it to Brundage, and that's hitting. We got my guy Avery in the room saying, "Oi," reporting from ETH Denver. Got to say what's good to my favorite uncle. Good to see you hanging out in here, Avery. Go follow Avery at MMA_very on Twitter. He's giving away money if his parlay hits this week. So go follow him. Go like his parlay tweet, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win half of the profits. This is the guy that generously sponsors Stat Diggers for Brady and I, so that we can bring that show to use guys for free every single week. So shout out Avery. Follow this man on Twitter. I chalked that Kape fight to him being in his own head. Strange though. Yeah. It was a piss poor performance. To call it anything but that is being disingenuous. Very upset about De La Rosa not being on the card. I was more I picked her too, live dogs. Yeah, I think that she was actually a good spot at like plus 120 this week. Yeah, and I don't feel I'm not with these. I don't like the underdog picks this week either. When I looked at the lines before I did all the research, I was like, oh, I'm going to be picking a lot of dogs. I'm going to be betting a lot of dogs this week. Man, I think these lines got blown out because the winner is going to win, you know? BM saying, are you Greek? Yes, I am. I'm of Greek heritage. My father was born there. All 3 out of my 4 grandparents were born in Greece. I am 25% Danish as well. Do you have a favorite KO Dees sub parlay? Barlow KO, Pat, not really, dude. JJ Aldrich by decision, Barlow KO. No, Esteban KO, JJ by decision, and I don't have anybody for submission this week. Kape said in an interview, Ambaev was also he was injured. Yeah. He's injured, all right. He's fucking mentally retarded. That's why Kape sucks, and that's why he never lets his hands go, because he doesn't have whatever. I'm not interested in that man's excuses. He's the most talented man in the division, and he does jack shit out there half the time. I hate that. I see Asu pulling through with the win. I hope he does, kind of. I'd like to see Kape lose. William Gomis, Danny Barlow, Shepe, JJ fight over 2.5 rounds. I like it, man. Fight Talk saying, been hella busy at work, Tio. I'm happy to catch you live. I'm happy you're here catching me live, my man. It's good to see you in here. We got Composite Savage coin flip. We'll see. We'll see, man. That's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm glad I got no money on that. Kape will never be champ, but he should win this one. He should. Let's see if he lets it go. Benino 420 in ATX. Let's go, man. That time. We got MMA Avery saying black belt and ass slapping. Talk to him, Monk. I do have that. You know, you can get one of those. Let me tell you something. It was fun. Black belt in mathematics, that I do have, man. Passed 3 actuarial exams, have a statistics degree from the Harvard of the Midwest, Northern Illinois University. Go Huskies. So yes, sir. We got Boofy in the room saying, I feel like Nasrat is the biggest live dog to upset based on his experience, honestly. Play the decision proper plus 375, dude. It's a massive number. I like Joshua Van next week. Kid's good. I say kid, I'm 25. Yeah, he's still younger than you, though. He's still younger than you, Benino. He's like 23. D's saying it was like 2 dogs barking at each other crazily through a fence. Then they open the gate and they won't even so much as breathe too hard at each other. Dude, I couldn't agree more. There were security guards holding Manel Kape back. I've never seen these guys have the balls to put their hands on fighters. This one guy kept his hand on Manel Kape for over a minute before the fight started. He was the last one out of the cage. They were worried he was going to kill Ambaev. And then he says the Ambaev avoided the fight. That's pathetic. I cannot believe that Manel Kape said that. He accused... Dude, this guy has been in 3 fights where he avoided the fight. I mean, I can't believe that, man. If you like house tracks, listen to Munda Murder. You're welcome. Munda Murder. Oh, you know some of the other ones that I liked recently. Round shaped triangles. Forever Young. And there's another track. The Flavor Trip people played them. Art of Tones has got some killer stuff. Finally Ready by what's that dude's name? Billy Porter. Finally Ready, the Shapeshifters remix, a really good one there. Good Parlay JJ says live dogs. Thanks for the shout out on. Thanks for sponsoring Stack Diggers, bro. Thank you, man. Truly appreciate you. The only reason I hate having a kid is because it makes me late. It says Real Fight Fix. Nathaniel saying, sorry, I meant to say Nunca Muda. Autocorrect. Nunca Muda. Got it. Thank you. I'm going to check that out, Nathaniel. Muhammad saying, can become a heavy workload. Last week, I must have watched 100 boxing fights as well as the MMA. Didn't think of becoming a content creator, but the workload and consistency. Yeah, when you become a content creator, it really takes away from your ability to do even more research. So think about that. You know, that's something you really need to think about. Do you want to devote the time to it? We got Christos in the room. We got GEIASOUP. The P is Array Alani. I'm gonna have to. Hey, Dad, I need you to read something for me. I mentioned I was Greek, and my man is typing to me here in Greek, so I need you to read this for me so I know what he says. Just a couple minutes. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. What does this say here? I know it's gamma, epsilon, iota. What does this say here?
Yeah. Would you read it so that he can answer?
Yesu.
Is that a row?
Can you make it larger, Mike?
No,
No.
I can't.
Yesu. I don't understand what he wrote.
Oh, no.
Yesu.
He's probably, yeah.
It's a Yesu, you know, for wish you life.
Okay.
Alan. I've never heard that.
Isn't that an R or a row?
Is he Greek?
Yeah, oh, that's definitely Greek. Yeah, yeah, because there's a lambda in there. Ella, we're going to read this. I can't read this. What does this say? What is Christos saying to me there?
Yasure Alani.
Okay.
That means hi.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. My Aunt Maria here, my dad here, my mom.
Yasure Alani. Alañaris. Just like this one here, Alañaris with his Gomis, you know. Okay.
All right, Aunt Maria. Now we're talking to the
ones
like Weezy. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, we got it. All right.
Anytime you want a translation,
yes.
you come to
Thank
me.
you. My Aunt Maria's always got us for the Greek translations. All right. Every American thinks everyone from Eastern Europe is Russian. It doesn't matter. They try and correct them at this point. Yeah, that's not even Europe, though, man. Like, Uzbekistan is Central Asia. You know, I mean, it's an old Russian republic, but the Russians are not the same as the Uzbekistanis. We got Divan there. We got Desi saying majestic main Weezy. We got Live Dog saying Makayev is better than Kape. Well, he was better than him that night. We got the wise little goat in the room saying freak. We got Live Dogs MMA saying Charles is a good dog, but he wasn't one. Very long. He did open, though. We got Sean saying, to be fair, Kape broke his toe in round one in the Makayev fight. Okay. Did he break his finger? Did he break his hand? Because those weapons were still available to him, but he didn't throw shit. So, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sick of this dude. JJ Aldrich moves in a circle the whole fight. Yeah, she's difficult to hit, you know. Larry saying, what's good, Unc? I keep missing the lives, but I'm glad to at least catch the tail end here. Flipping back to the start as soon as it's done. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you, man. We got Muhammad saying, I laughed my ass off for the first minute of the Kape versus Makai. I know, dude. I was right there with you, man. We got Muhammad saying it was like the meme of dogs separated by a gate. Yes. We got Larry saying, go on IU. DeKalb equals the most exciting in the Midwest. Maybe Sycamore, then DeKalb. But man, oh man, you want to talk about excitement. You go to DeKalb, Illinois, you go over to Molly's Bar, you're going to get plenty of excitement in there. We got D saying, I'm going to need more info about this black belt and ass slapping. I live in LOL, and there's a whole lot of I'm gonna put you in touch with my sensei, D. We'll get you that black belt, man. We got Ribovics is a better fighter, period. But the matchup is one of his toughest yet. Haqparast finds a way to steal rounds. Dude should have lost to Gordon. Yeah, I think he probably should have lost to Gordon, but they stood right in front of each other and they threw the whole fight. So it was a great one. Got the great uncle himself on stream. What a treat. What's up, MMA? Oh, we got the Austin Found saying, congrats on winning the UFC prediction tracker crown again. I appreciate you, Austin Found. I appreciate that dude doing all the work, putting in the work, tracking all those channels. It's got to be a tremendous amount of work, but it's good to be on top of that leaderboard. I hope your boys enjoy the golf. We already did, my man. It was great. We got Zila in the room saying, oi. We got Billy Mann saying, Grandpa Weezy in the house. That's not my grandpa. That's my dad, you know? So, but I don't have any kids, so he's not a grandpa, unfortunately. He'd like to be one. I know that. We got to meet the fam. Yes, we did, man. It's like my friend in Greek Slain, brother. Okay, yeah, you're the best, my guy. You're amazing. Appreciate you, Christos. And we found out eventually. I can spell in Greek. I just don't know how to, I can't pronounce. It's unfortunate. We got Avery saying fire. We got the High Owl in the room. My guy Kiwi Brew saying beautiful. We got the High Owl saying special show we got here. We got the whole family here. We got the whole family. It's not just me in my office today. I'm down in Florida with the family. We got Don saying too much fun. Love it, Weezy. Family. You got that right, Don. We got, wow, the wholesome levels are off the charts right now. Appreciate you, Paul. We got Kiwi saying, Kape having a skinned vagina did limit his movement. Yes, that did hurt him. We got what fights is off, Unc, says Marcel. Evidently, Della Rosa versus Carolina is off, as well as Castaneda versus he was fighting Douglas Silva de Andrade. And then they moved the Danny Silva fight to a catchweight, evidently. Great stream. Cheers, Weezy. Appreciate you, my man. And we got D saying, God bless you, LOL. Speaking of Greek, I think my name is of Greek origin. Demetrius. Yes, it is. Demetrius is definitely a Greek name. It means Jimmy. So yeah, or James. That doesn't mean Jimmy. It means James. But yeah, my friend's son is named Dimitri. Dimitri, a very popular Greek name for sure. And we got Marcel saying, good looking out. You got it, my man. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you all being here. I got to jump. We're going out for some Greek food tonight. So I'm going to go out with the family, enjoy these fights tomorrow night. Let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 103. And if you want to join me on the Odds Shopper team, link in the description of this video to a 20% off coupon for your first month of Odds Shopper, where you get access to your Uncle Weezy's probability stats and content package, where you see all the stats on these videos, on my personal videos where we do for the Odd Shopper team. You're going to get a lot of content there, a lot of stats, a lot of fight write-ups, and you're going to get access to the picks that are at the top of the UFC predictions tracker board. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out here. And we will talk to you guys next week for UFC 313, which is going to be headlined by Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. Guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Let's cash all the bets on these fights. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.